the masterpiece you rebuild from wreckage. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French, and I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Kelly Williams, a Black entrepreneur whose story shook me to my core and whose impact on this world deserves to be shouted from every rooftop. Kelly is someone who has turned trauma into triumph, brokenness into business ownership, and refuses, absolutely refuses, to wear masks when pouring life into others. Kelly is making the world a better place by showing up authentically, by mentoring without judgment, by speaking grace over people who desperately need it, and by proving that you don't have to look like what you've been through. The insights Kelly shared with me aren't just inspiring, they're a roadmap for every woman who's been broken, rebuilt, and is now standing in her power, wondering what comes next. Today, I'm sharing those insights with you because what Kelly taught me, what they lived through, is exactly what we all need to hear in our soft girl era. Let's start here. You know that feeling when life breaks you so many times you start wondering if the pieces even fit together anymore? Yeah, that one. Kelly knows it intimately. And here's the truth they dropped on me: every Black professional, every high achieving woman grinding in survival mode has dirt from the past. Family Black sheep status, loss that guts you, trauma that rewrites your story. But it's not the dirt that defines you, it's how you strip naked, get brutally real, and rebuild your masterpiece that writes your legacy. Kelly's story isn't neat, it's not tied up with a bow. When Kelly's mom, their best friend, was called home, Kelly became a wreck. Total devastation. The kind of grief that buries you under family dirt and trauma. The kind that makes you question if you'll ever breathe normally again. And here's the kicker: Kelly was already the black sheep of the family, so when loss hit, it piled on top of everything else: isolation, judgment, the weight of being misunderstood. But Kelly pulled strength out of places they didn't even know existed. They got real, no masks, no pretending, and rebuilt gracefully. They accomplished what they set their mind to, shattered limits, pieced themselves back together with fierce grace, and emerged not looking like the pain they endured. That's the first thing Kelly wants you to remember. Embrace your trauma as fuel. Every single one of us has been broken. But brokenness isn't the end, it's the beginning of your masterpiece. Kelly's journey mirrors something I saw in another powerful story: Tanya Kelly's rise from rhythm and blues heartbreak to entrepreneurial powerhouse. Tanya, co founder of the 1990s platinum group Jade, knows about trauma too. Industry realities crushed many, group pressures, career pivots after hits like Don't Walk Away, balancing artistry with business amid the dirt fame throws at you. But Tanya got naked with adaptability. She leveraged trauma into entrepreneurship, spoke life through real talk mentoring without masks, and built sustainable success as a singer, songwriter, and interior designer. She smashed platinum sales, evolved into an architectural design boss, and now ignites students with raw passion at Morgan Park Academy. What Tanya and Kelly both understand is this: trauma doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. It gives you the grit, the grace, and the guts to rebuild in ways that inspire others. When you strip away the mask, when you stop pretending you have it all together, that's when your real power shows up. That's when you stop looking like what you've been through and start looking like the miracle you are. Think about what it takes to stand on a stage or in a classroom or in a boardroom and say, I've been broken, I've been crushed, I've faced rejection, loss, and trauma that could have ended me. But here I am. That's what Tanya does. That's what Kelly does. And that's what they're asking you to do. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because someone out there is watching you, waiting for permission to rebuild their own life, and they need to see that it's possible. Now let's talk about the second thing Kelly wants you to remember. Pour life unapologetically. As business owners who've overcome trials, we owe it to our community to speak life, not masks. Kelly said something that hit me hard. I'm a sinner saved by grace, and God gifted me to lift others without judgment. That's the heartbeat of the soft girl era. We're not here to perform perfection. We're here to pour into each other from a place of authenticity, vulnerability, and radical love. Think about Jade's journey again. Tanya Kelly and her group navigated the chaos of the 1990s music industry, fame's trauma, hit pressures, group dynamics, post platinum uncertainty, all the dirt others threw at them. But they didn't just survive, they adapted, poured business acumen into long term wins, spoke life to sustain their careers, and now their multi platinum legacy endures. Tanya mentors young people, showing them how to turn pain into purpose, how to thrive beyond trauma by blending art and business for community legacy. That's what pouring life looks like. It's not about having all the answers, it's about showing up, scars and all, and saying, I've been where you are, and I'm here to tell you that you can make it through. Kelly does this every single day. They refuse to hide behind a mask. They speak grace over others because they know what it's like to need grace desperately. And that's the gift. When you've been broken, when you've rebuilt, you have something sacred to offer. You have the power to lift someone else out of their wreckage. Here's where it gets even deeper. The third thing Kelly wants you to remember is this: strength hides in brokenness. You don't look like what you've been through. Pull that unknown power. Accomplish what you set your mind to, and turn pain into edgy, unstoppable purpose. Kelly's life is proof of this. They were broken so many times, but they had to put their masterpiece back together. And when they did, they emerged stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and absolutely unstoppable. This is the part where I want you to pause and think about your own life. Where have you been broken? What dirt are you still carrying? Maybe it's family rejection. Maybe it's loss that still aches. Maybe it's the weight of being the strong one for so long that you forgot how to be soft. Whatever it is, I want you to know that your brokenness is not your end, it's your blueprint. Kelly's story, Tanya's story, they're not unique in their pain. They're unique in their response. They chose to rebuild. They chose to pour life. They chose to pull strength from places they didn't know existed. And that's what the soft girl era is all about. It's about learning to be soft in a world that taught you survival. It's about dropping the superwoman cape and saying, I'm allowed to rest. I'm allowed to heal. I'm allowed to rebuild on my own terms. Let's talk about what this looks like practically. Kelly's challenge to you is simple but powerful. Drop the mask today. Identify one trauma, one piece of dirt, family black sheep status, loss, brokenness, and get naked with it. Journal raw. Speak life over one person. Pull that hidden strength and rebuild your masterpiece now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now. Because here's the truth: you're never going to feel fully ready. Healing isn't a destination, it's a practice. Softness isn't weakness, it's a radical act of self love. And rebuilding isn't about perfection, it's about progress, one brave, messy, beautiful step at a time. I think about the women listening right now, the high achieving Black women between 38 and 55 who have spent years in survival mode. You've led teams, you've raised families, you've held down households, you've carried communities, and now you're exhausted. You're ready to shift from constantly grinding to finally grounding in joy, peace, softness, and self prioritization. This is your permission slip. This is your invitation. This is your moment. Kelly's journey from wreckage to resilience, from brokenness to business ownership, from trauma to triumph is your roadmap. It's not about doing more, it's about being more honest, more vulnerable, more soft, more you. It's about releasing the cape, redefining strength, embracing softness, healing in real time, protecting peace as a practice, and turning your survival into something sacred that supports others. And here's what I want you to feel right now: fired up and unashamed. I want that edgy passion to hit you hard, that raw, real conviction that stirs your gut. And after this, I want empowered grace to linger, like you've shed the dirt and you're standing unbreakable, unstoppable, and unapologetically soft. Kelly Williams is making the world a better place by refusing to hide, by pouring life into others without masks, by showing us that brokenness can be beautiful, that trauma can be fuel, and that strength hides in the softest, most vulnerable parts of who we are. Kelly's impact is a ripple, inspiring Black professionals to own their past dirt, fostering community uplift through authentic advice, and proving that you don't have to look like what you've been through. So, here's what I need you to do right now, not later, not when it's convenient, right now. I need you to name your dirt, say it out loud, write it down. Acknowledge the thing you've been carrying, the trauma, the loss, the rejection, the brokenness. Name it. Because once you name it, you take its power away. Once you name it, you can start to rebuild. Then I need you to speak life over someone today. Find one person, just one, who needs to hear that they're not alone, that they can make it through, that their brokenness doesn't define them. Send a text, make a call, write a note, pour into someone the way Kelly poured into me, the way I'm pouring into you right now, because that's how we change the world, one act of grace at a time. And finally, I need you to pull that unknown strength and rebuild your masterpiece. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You are ready. You've always been ready. The strength is already inside you, hiding in your brokenness, waiting for you to claim it. So claim it, rebuild, rise, and refuse to look like what you've been through, because you are not your trauma. You are not your brokenness. You are the masterpiece that rises from the wreckage, the grace that grows from the grief, the power that pours from the pain. You are worthy. You are powerful. You are soft. And you are absolutely unstoppable. Now go rebuild your masterpiece, and don't you dare apologize for the beauty you create from the broken pieces.